everybody, welcome back to today's video. So Michael alluded yesterday that I'm going to be talking about kind of what's going on here in Cambodia in regards to COVID and why we're currently in quarantine and why the cases in Cambodia have jumped significantly. So I have some notes here. There's a lot that's been going on. All the information that I have has been taken from articles posted already, so I'm just kind of like sharing the info with you guys. So I will be sharing screenshots and other pictures of graphs and stuff whenever it's like necessary. Firstly, I should start off with the channel is called That Philippines Life. Why are we not in the Philippines? Well, because the Philippines is currently closed down to tourists, and there's been some issues with me applying for my dual citizenship, so that hasn't gone through yet. We're still working on it, unfortunately. So we have made a detour to Cambodia, and originally we didn't think that they had the 2-week quarantine stay. We did a lot of research, but we missed such a big thing. So that was totally on us. So now we're here quarantining. It's totally cool, totally fine. We do have our kind of like plan for after we get out of quarantine, and it should be super fun. Right now, there's a whole bunch of cases appearing in Cambodia. The two specific places are Phnom Penh, which is where we are quarantining right now. So luckily we are in our little bubble, and there haven't been any cases in the hotel that we are at, so we are good for the most part. And another place is Sihanoukville. I probably am butchering that pronunciation, but basically they are under a lockdown right now because they have a lot of cases, and it's kind of where the community outbreak is started and has been spreading around. So before I get into the actual incident that's caused this massive spike, I want to tell you what the numbers are right now and to kind of give you like a pretense of why this is such a big deal. So from today's numbers, the cases are currently in total 1,578. The deaths are 2, and the recovered are 917. February 20th, there was only 516 cases total in the whole country, and in less than a month, it's gone up over 1,000. This incident that happened on February 20th has caused over half of the current total cases in Cambodia, so it's a really big deal. Let me get into what actually happened. So on February 20th, it's dubbed now the community incident. Okay, hold on. There's like a whole lot to this story. There was like a whole expose article about it, so I'm like reiterating it. Anyways, so the main spread was 4 women who escaped their quarantine hotel a day after they like checked in and got tested at the airport. To give you some like backstory, basically once you come into the country, they test you at the airport. So we got that done at the airport, and then they shuttle us off to our hotels where we begin the 2-week stay. Basically, these women took the test, got to the hotel, checked in, everything, and then the next day escaped. They just fled, they left, they were like, peace out, we're gone. So they escaped, and 2 of them were tested positive. So this was before they could like take them to a proper like hospital to be quarantined. So they left right before. Also, another like horrible thing that just it makes it like 10 times more selfish is not that they didn't know that they were positive. One of the women who had to get a health certificate to fly. Everybody who wants to come into Cambodia, we have to get health certificates, the 72-hour test before our flight with a negative test. Hers was positive when she was coming in. So I don't know how she managed to slip by without getting like hospitalized or like denied entry. So she was let in and then escaped with her friends, and they went partying. They went partying around the city. They stopped at different condos, a fancy neighborhood, and a nightclub called N8 nightclub, which seemed to be very popular because a lot of the positive cases, the contact tracing, has come from that nightclub itself. So how they escaped the hotel was basically they bribed two of the guards and they left through the fire escape. Really disappointing. And the reason they got caught was they tried sneaking back in on the 13th day, around the time when we go to get our second COVID test, just to confirm that we're negative and we can go out into the world, basically. It's like a day or two before our quarantine ends. So they tried sneaking in the morning of, but obviously the hotel already knew that they had escaped, so they were like watching out for them. And so that's where they were apprehended. At the time though, I hope I'm not mixing up my numbers, but at the time the fine was only $250 if you fled your quarantine. And considering that they came in with a private jet that seated less than 20 people, $250 was probably nothing for them. They also were checked into a 5-star hotel, which they had prearranged, which is not supposed to be possible considering with the Ministry of Health, their website, it doesn't give any links. When they ask about it, they say that everything is not prearranged. Everything is decided and given to you once you arrive at the airport, which is exactly what happened to us. We were not aware of what hotel we were going to be in, and it was all kind of done without knowledge. And it doesn't say what happened to them. I believe that they managed to like fly out, because it doesn't talk about any arrests or anything, so I'm not sure what the outcome was for the women themselves. But the security guards who were bribed, one of them has been arrested, and I don't know about the second one yet. So because of this escape, there's been like a third wave basically here in Cambodia. This is why we are locked down, not locked down, but like under a very strict quarantine. The rules and like mask mandate has changed, been increased. The fines have been increased as well. There's now possible jail time, especially if you spread COVID like knowingly, which I think is totally fair. If you want to come to a country and not obey like the local laws, I think you should be punished for it. It kind of ruined it for everyone else, especially the actual locals who have been fighting COVID very well. They hadn't had a death in a whole year, and it was because of this outbreak that they now have 2 confirmed deaths, one of them being at the time of this video, which is super sad and it's really disappointing. So that was the story. That's why there's been such an increase in cases and now deaths in Cambodia. It makes us kind of like understand why there are such heavy precautions and measures, like staying in a hotel locked down for 2 weeks, just to make sure like not only we are safe, but the locals are safe as well. So thank you so much for sticking with me on this video. I hope it was interesting to learn about what's going on in Cambodia, even if it's not super positive. I hope you will join us next time. Anyways, see you later. Bye from Cambodia.